Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Boomer Shooter Showdown. This is episode 14. Today, we will be ranking the remaining Amiga games that we have not yet looked at, as well as I Am Sakura, I believe is pronounced. We will discuss that game more in a bit, but first, we are going to take a look at Amiga games. Let's start with our first title of the day. Let's bring its sound back up. Maybe a little bit lower than it was before. And switch over to Fears for the Amiga, released in 1995. This game was not easy to get working, let me tell you. In fact, most of these games were not easy to get working. Several I could not get working at all. 2 are in Polish, a language I do not speak and cannot read. And so they are not going to be ranked because we're not going to get very far in them. That left us with only 2 functional Amiga games to fully look at, and this is the first one. Not very pretty, I know. But hey, it's better looking than some of the Amiga games we've looked at. So, notably, as you can probably tell, I've adjusted this to have modern controls. Adjusting these controls took forever. But it was so worth it. This now controls so much better than when I first started playing it. But this took hours of effort, which is why the show was delayed until today, because getting these Amiga games running, like, my intent initially this week was not to do all the remaining Amiga games, but I finally gave up. I have spent too much time trying to get these shitty Amiga games to function, and we are just moving on. Whoops. So, we've got these 2 working ones. We'll look quickly at the Polish ones. And then we're done with Amiga for this show. I really would have liked to look at least one of the others, which is called Nemec 4. Which is a very late Amiga game from 97 that utilizes actually uses modern graphics cards. Not modern graphics cards, but uses graphics cards. And so, yeah, I'd be personally very interested. We missed going in this door. It occurred to me. Is there a button I need to hit? Yes. We have to get the highest score possible, right? Where was I? Killing this dude. Yeah, Nemec 4 is probably the best looking Amiga game, at least from video and screenshots that I've ever seen, but I could not for the life of me get it running. And again, it is meant to be using actual graphics cards, which were not introduced until after Commodore had stopped making the Amiga, and it had been taken over, I believe, by a German company. That was the first level there. We killed 15 enemies. We got 0 secrets out of a question mark and 10 out of 10 treasures. Moving on to level 2. But yeah, I mean, this emulator is supposedly capable of emulating graphics cards and emulating the expansion and acceleration cards that I believe were used for that game. And so, in theory, it all should have worked, but it just didn't. And so, I tried both it also was one of the few Amiga games released on a CD. That's how late it was. So, you know, but again, this emulator theoretically has CD drive emulation support. But nothing I did could get that game to run either on disk or on, sorry, they're both disk. Either on floppy disk or on CD, compact disc. And so at the end of the day, I decided I didn't care quite that much. And so, like I said, I moved on in life. His health back seemed to be like 5 health. I thought he was dead already. This game is hard enough with its controls set to functional. Imagine playing this with its controls in the nonsense form it was in. Who's shooting me? Someone's shooting me. I'm getting shot. I also, for the life of me, have no idea how this game is meant. Oh. I found the button I'm pretty certain I was supposed to be pressing. Now we just have to figure out which of the many different potential locked paths it opened. This is still closed. This is all still closed. I wonder if there was a jump button I needed to map to something. Wait, nope. I was gonna say, I really didn't think this game had jumping ability. Oh no. We fell. The good news is, this game has a life system. And so, instead of just starting the level over, you just continue on right where you left off. I don't need this health now that I had to restart, but we'll make use of it. Oh, we're getting shot again. We're getting shot. Well, I could certainly use that health now, but I'm not going all the way back to get it. Navigating this game is hard enough as it is. We need to press that. I pressed it on all sides, right? Great. Okay. Our button is pressed. Oh gosh, I nearly just jumped into the lava again. Again, this is with heavily modified controls. This is one of the few games, so most games from this era, and that we've played, I think I've mentioned this before, are running with a system that allows you to I don't know what that was, but I got something there. Got something else there. I don't know what that was either. Well, we got two things. "18 out of 18 aliens, 9 out of 9 treasures." Oh, whoops. That's okay. I've done it now. I don't actually have a save disk put in. Hold on. Oh, floppy drives. Create standard disk. Disk label. Save. Create disk. Save. placed in fears. Where are you, fears? Hold on. Fears, save. Put save disk into drive. Okay. It's inserted. Seems to be doing nothing. All right. Let's put it instead into the first drive. Okay. There we go. Jeez. Insert Fears Disk 1 in any drive. Okay. Eject that. Insert Fears Disk 1. This, yes. Okay. So back in the day on an Amiga, you did not necessarily have a built-in internal hard drive. So when you needed to save something, you needed to insert a disk. Of course, most Amiga owners only had a single disk drive. And so that meant removing the disk with the game on it to insert the disk with that was blank that you could save the game on, and then pulling that out and reinserting the game disk. DOS also worked like this, as did early Apple, and yeah, most early computers did not have built-in hard drives, so that's how saving worked back in the day, assuming you could save it all. Man. So normally strafing was set to the right Amiga key and the right Alt. I don't even know where exactly the Amiga key was on the keyboard on the right side, so I don't even know exactly what that would have resembled, but it seemed awful. So, again, I spent hours working in this emulator to get this rebound in a way that would let me play it like a normal-ass video game. And it was only possible because... I don't know if... I don't believe this emulator supports multi-key functions. So, because most games, not only on the Amiga, but just in this era in general, strafing was a toggle. So you would hold down, or not a toggle, it was like you had to hold it down a button to make it strafe. So you'd still be pressing the same key you would be to move left or right, except you'd be doing it while holding down, shift or control or what have you. But to my knowledge, most emulators don't support remapping combination controls like that. This one might. This emulator is fairly advanced with its control remapping, but I haven't tried it on any Amiga game that potentially let you do that, because that's... Look, just remapping single buttons was hard enough. This interface is mind-blowingly obtuse and stupid. We're gonna die. We have one life left. Which way was that? Well, we don't have a choice from here. We go up, right? Then, yeah, we got shot from this dude. Anyway, so... most emulators, you cannot assign a multi-button combo to a single button press. On very advanced emulators, you can. And To be fair, this is one of the most comprehensive emulators in existence for any platform. So it would not surprise me if it in fact did have that ability, but I didn't feel like figuring that out. So instead, games where we've had to strafe using a button combo, I've just not strafed. But since this one did have strafe as its own set of buttons, which again would have been insane on an actual Amiga to actually like press these two random keys on the right hand side. Like, I don't even know how that was meant to actually work. I don't know what your hands were meant to do to play this game on an actual Amiga. It just sounds insane. Like, in theory, you still needed... I guess you couldn't have been using the mouse? Because you would have needed both hands on the keyboard? Well, shit. No, this is deadly. I was really hoping that we had walked into, you know, non-deadly liquids here. But it turns out that no, we've walked into deadly liquids. This is our last life. That was our last chance here. So, if I fall into this deadly liquid again, then I don't know what happens actually. I've never gotten a game over before. That's probably not true. I've probably gotten a game over at some point in my life. I just don't remember what happens at that point. And so cannot tell you what we are in for. We do have that save disc we can always make use of. Jesus, that hurt a lot. Went from like full health to nearly dead in an instant. What did that open? Nothing in here, right? I have no idea if the way this looks is giving people motion sickness or not. I apologize if it is. I really did the best I could with these controls and this rendering. Is really, there's only so much you can do. I do think the music in this game is really good. I really like it. As you can tell, I was playing it at the start, just before the stream started, because I think it's a really good audio design overall. In this game, I think it's some of the best we've heard in an Amiga game on any series. All right, we did it. I feel like we better save. Yeah, okay, we better save. All right, hold on. Let me put the save disk in the... This isn't any drive. I put it in the third drive, drive 3, and it did not work. So I instead have to put it in drive 1 here. My emulated Amiga here has 4 disk drives, and I put it in one of them. It just doesn't like that it's in the third one for whatever reason. 4 drives was the maximum supported by the Amiga. Disk drives, floppy disk drives. Could also have hard drives. Hard drives might have been included there. You could definitely also have CD drives, put it that way. That was not part of that total. I don't know about if hard drives were counted. I don't think so. Maybe external hard drives would have been counted. We're getting shot by something again. Assume that's going to open the one on the other side that we can't even see from here. Great. So glad we opened this. Let's go over to the other side and see if this thing's open now. Yep. What the hell? Well, that was fierce. As you can see, you can put a bunch of different effects on. We could have made our hero an alien. I don't know what effect that would have. Let's, instead of loading, let's be an alien and start over. We put on easy there, so maybe, you know, we'll get further. It doesn't seem any different so far. That might only matter for multiplayer, mind you. This first level, I've played so much attempting to change these controls that I feel like I can do it with my eyes closed. At least this first part here, because, you know, you change some stuff, you try it out, you're like, okay, does this feel good now? Nope. Okay, let's change this and this and this. Does this work now? No. I feel like even with strafing, it is nearly impossible to dodge. Like, we just got a whole bunch of items there, but... Or, you know, what that looks like different ammo for a different gun, but I've yet to actually see a different gun. Let's instead of walking out, let's keep looking around for a bit. Okay, that would have been if we went this way. Alright, those all just lead us to the same path, so I don't think there's anything else here. Okay. Here's level 2 again. Oh, we're getting shot so hard. We need more ammo, so we are going to risk falling off and dying. I don't like that the enemies shoot you before you can even see them. You know, Fortunately, such as, you know, such as the life of an Amiga owner, you know, you have real harsh limitations on what you can render. Especially if you want to support less powerful Amigas. You'll see with our final game, and would have seen with Nemec 4, that Amiga games could in fact look dramatically better than this. But at that point, you were really limiting your potential audience to just a small subset of Amiga owners. And a lot of people, of course, did not want to do that. So for them, the choice was, you gotta make these games look like this so they could at least run on an Amiga 1200. In some cases, they would have wanted it to run even on an Amiga 500, which was, you know, the original Amiga from the late 80s. So if that, you know, that was the goal, that's when the games look real awful, because that's just not gonna happen in most cases with any game that even looks remotely close to decent. Its easy mode is much easier. You know, also I haven't fallen into a pit yet, so that's also helping a lot, but, you know, that's not going to last very long, I assume. Oh, we need to go up these stairs. Let's look at these random things we picked up again. See, we picked up something there. We have one of something. Is this the same thing we have 14 of? Yeah, now we have 16 of it. We don't actually have the guns to use them, but I now have 18 ammo for that gun, if and when we were to ever find it. Really, my primary issue with the gameplay here is just your real inability to dodge incoming fire well. And just, at least on normal difficulty, those attacks do so much damage. The fact that you cannot dodge a significant number of attacks. And again, strafing would not have been anywhere close to as easy as it is here on the original Amiga. Just makes the game, you know, just too hard for its own good, I think. It's also, of course, very, very simple. You know, Doom 2 was also released in 95, Heretic, Rise of the Triad, all that stuff was out this year, so shooters said this, you know, this feels fairly outdated even for like 94, but for 95 it just feels extraordinarily outdated. You know, most games in 94 would not have been that much more advanced than this. You know, Doom had only just been released, so it was not like most games had moved far beyond the Wolfenstein 3D concepts at this point, but by 95 they most definitely had. And so I think this would I felt fairly outdated. That said, you know, we have had very, very, very few good Amiga shooters. So if your only way of playing games was on an Amiga, I think this is one of the better Amiga shooters we played. Where have I not gone? What am I missing? I was supposed to go up, wasn't I? That last time I go up some stairs? Oh, those stairs. Those are the ones. Oh, look, it's another bullet for the gun I don't have. It's great. See if I can walk down this without managing to kill myself. Oh, I can barely see. There might have been a look up and look down button that I could be pressing, but if such a button exists, I did not map it to anything, so could not make use of it, unfortunately. There you are, 38 out of 8 treasure. Was this the level we died on? I know we died on several levels, but I mean the final level we died on, or did we beat this? I don't remember. How did we open this? Oh, yes. Make sure you turn us around so we can't actually see the enemies as they start to fire at us. Why would I actually want to see my targets? And we're getting shot again from something, but again, I can't see it. Where is this coming from? I think we ended that with a bit more life than last time. So, easy mode. Helped us out a little. Alright. Something gonna shoot me in here? Probably, eventually. Yep. That one's dead. I do like the concept that, you know, we're just climbing this staircase, and every time I'm stepping off is by and large of my own volition. Like, I just have to make it to this button. So I didn't really have to kill all 17 of those aliens or get 6 out of those 9 treasures. I could have just walked to the end. Doesn't seem like it would be especially rewarding, but I guess I could have. I probably should have on that normal difficulty, because clearly... Alright. So we clearly beat that level because we didn't see the yellow guys that killed me. I don't remember doing this, but we must have. Ah. Oh yeah, I do remember this now. This was the room that had the random dude over here we had to shoot. And then that opened the door to nothing, so we don't have to worry about that. Here's where the dudes are. Are we ready? Easy mode. Game could also use some sort of indication of what the button has done when you pressed it. That would also be very helpful. Maybe the other path now has something actually in it that we can do. Hey, look at that. I could even circle strafe a little there. Man. Probably the best room they've had yet. What did that do? Something else open now? Who knows? Ah. I really like the sound effects, and I don't know if you even call this music or ambient effects, whatever, however you want to describe it. But I actually think they're really good here. So definitely major props to the audio team here. I think this is some of the best sounding Amiga work I've ever heard. And the Amiga is fairly well known for its... Oh my gosh, we finally got another gun. It's a chain gun that we have 20 ammo for? Okay. I was really hoping we could get far enough to see, you know, at least one more gun. I assume there's at least 3, because there's at least 3 different types of ammo. Wonder... This still isn't using a different type of ammo, actually. This is still just using the same standard ammo. Oh, we're getting shot by something. No? How about this one? Yep. Gonna get the rest of that ammo we couldn't pick up before now that we've used most of it. Alright, did we do everything we could do over here and here and here? We went to all the different ways we could. We pressed that. Right? Okay. I'm gonna assume then, nope, this path still isn't open to us. Okay, we're still missing something then. Oh, found it. on. Can't miss the treasure. Well, shit. There goes all our ammo. Guess it's time to use the knife. Functional. I literally cannot see. I'm gonna step too far and fall into a pit. I know it. I literally cannot see where I'm going here. Okay. We made it back down to the bottom. 0 ammo. Can I? Yes. Uh-oh. We're getting shot. We're getting shot. Hooray, ammo. Oh, where are we? How do we get back to where we just were? So many questions. Actually, it's not that hard. We hadn't ended up going very far. I feel like we should put our machine gun on for these guys. Even though it clearly uses a large amount of ammo. What are we getting shot by now? What did that do for us? Feels like nothing. Why did I not just walk over to those buttons and press them? I feel somewhat angry at myself now. Is the pentagram the end? At least of the first episode, maybe? Someone played a lot of Doom. I feel like we should go get this health now. Oh, I'm just walking to walls. Resolution here is just so low. But the performance on the better looking games is so bad on so many Amigas. Like, I understand why you would not push the visuals any harder than something like this. Like, I had to go to a whole... part of the reason all this stuff has been so hard to do is because I've had to use an emulator that, while overall better, as far as its actual emulation capabilities go, has no good user interface. But I don't really have a choice because these games are pushing the Amiga so hard that I needed to emulate as rapidly, you know, as possible. And to be able to emulate the full breadth of expanded hardware that one could get on an Amiga and not just, you know, damn, not just render the base Amiga hardware. Because the processor like I have in this emulated Amiga is a 32-bit processor, which no officially released Commodore Amiga ever had. And I could even set it to using a PowerPC core, which I've not, but I could even do that. And that's just essential because, oh man. It's like either we run out of health or we run out of ammo, you know? But I feel like, you know, 12 health, we're going to have to use the good gun, but we're going to chew through ammo that way. Again, I really wish the game would tell me what it did when I pressed those buttons. Like, what has changed? Half the time I can't even tell that something's different because the Amiga runs at such a low resolution and with such low... I don't even know where I'm going. Like, I can only see like 2 feet in the distance. This is the start of the thing, right? We've clearly been over there. There's nothing over here. Alright, let's just keep going this way. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Be so much more helpful. I could see more than 2 feet in front of me, you know? Is this new? Have we been here? No. We clearly have been here. Have we been over here? Is this new? No. Can't get over there. So that hasn't changed. This is where we went right at the beginning of the level. Right, we pressed that button. There's nothing over here that's changed. Right. Let's keep going back more. Here's the very beginning of the level again. Nothing changed here. It's also weird that you can stray so much faster than you can walk. There's no way to get over there. There's definitely not a path. Wait, hold on. Nope, we've been here. But we haven't pressed this button. Okay, I've pressed a new button. I don't know what that will have changed, but I did press a new button. I don't think this was here before, right? Oh my gosh, we did it. Okay, if this isn't the last level of the episode, this is going to be our final level regardless. Great, getting shot by things we can't see again. I love it. Let's go collect more ammo. If I just jump off here, will that hurt me? No. Good. If you are getting the feeling like you can't tell what you're looking at half the time, don't worry, it's not your stream. I also cannot tell what I'm looking at half the time. This game is a pixelated mess of nonsense. Let's use this gun because we're running low on ammo again. Okay. You know, I think there's... Yeah, there actually is a map. Forgot. Should have made use of that on the last level, huh? What is this? Nice. Right, that's the one we couldn't use. We figured that out already. Uh-oh. Can't use a chainsaw here for this. Hold on. I need to come around to you guys to chainsaw you. You know, I guess the other possibility is we get a game over and, it doesn't matter, which... Oh, we still can't do that. Wait, is this new? Could we go up here before? No. Hey, look at that. I was just expecting that to happen. Where were we? We'd gone around here. We'd gone here. We had climbed up. Buttons, you know, if I were them, I wouldn't let you repress it once you press it. Why would you want to unpress it? Is there any situation? Nothing. There's certainly no situation we've seen where I would want the button to be unpressed. So why even offer that as a choice? Just disable the script when you've pressed it once. Same with, like, these doors. There's no reason to reshut the door once you've opened it. So just... Holy shit. I beat it with 1 life, guys. 1 life and 2 ammo. Oh, that's not the end of the level. Shit. Okay. We're almost certainly losing our last extra life here, then. Oh, there's no enemies in here. Great. Okay, never mind. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to continue. But there you go. That's Fears. It is a solid Amiga game. With, like I said, I think very good music. Really like the music of this game. Ominous, right? It's my favorite thing about the game. All right. Now it's time to rank that game. So that was Fears for the Amiga. Here's our current rankings. Hold on. Let me post the webpage on chat so you can go to it if you desire to see it. There you go. So you can go to that website and look at the rankings yourself. But right now, Marathon sits at the top of our rankings, followed by Doom, followed surprisingly by the 3DO shooter Iron Angel, The Apocalypse, The Return, followed by Heretic, followed by the relatively recent release of Hands of Necromancy, and Doom 2 and Shrine 2 hit spots 6 and 7, with Rise of the Triad, Wolfenstein 3D, and Blakestone Planet Strike rounding out the top 10. At the bottom of our list is The Fortress of Dr. Rediaki, followed by Operation Body Count, Legends of the Seven Paladins, and the Catacomb games. So I think this game is going to be significantly better than any of those. I think let's see, where do we want to start here? Let's take a look here at Escape from Monster Manor at position number 25. This was a 3DO shooter, but also a very simple game where you're just, on a single plane and you're just shooting monsters in a room. So in a lot of ways, very similar to this. I think the visuals in that game are significantly better, although the potential hardware is much newer, and it's a, fixed platform, but we're not really taking platform into account here, so I think it's safe to say the visuals are a lot better there. The music here, though, is fantastic. I think the shooting feels better here. It's close, but I think a bit better here. There's also a lot more enemy variety. At least as far as we got in both. We didn't play either to completion, but we only saw a handful at most, like 2 or 3 enemies in Escape from Monster Manor, whereas by the end of this, we'd seen 7 or 8 or something. So definitely a lot more enemy variety. The weapons felt better. The music was better. So I'm going to say it is better than Escape from Monster Manor. Your health is not constantly draining as you run out of oxygen, and we could figure out where to go in all cases. So I'm going to call it better than In Extremis. The Terminator Rampage is another relatively similar game in that it's a, basic ass shooter where you go around shooting things. Unfortunately, to actually get to the end of that game, you need to wander around a maze and collect random items, and it's awful. And the visuals are significantly worse, the audio is significantly worse, and so this is better than Terminator Rampage. Alien Breed 3D is another Amiga shooter, as is Gloom Deluxe. So if we rank this higher than these games, we will be calling this the best Amiga shooter that we have played. I think it is not quite as visually atrocious as Alien Breed 3D. And again, I think there's greater enemy variety. I think the levels are a bit better designed, so I do think it's better than Alien Breed 3D. Right now, Gloom Deluxe, I believe, sits at the top of our list of Amiga shooters. here in position 21. And the question is, are we going to place it above that or not? Are we going to have all of our Amiga shooters all bunched here in one spot? That was not necessarily my intent, but I don't... Hmm. I think I enjoyed this more than Gloom Deluxe. And I also think I enjoyed it more than Alien vs. Predator. It didn't have random acid puddles you had to walk over that constantly hurt you. It had music at all, and its music was fantastic. And the combat was just more enjoyable. So I actually think this is gonna be an Amiga game that breaks the top 20. Virtuoso was that game where in third person where you were, using those weird controls to go around in an almost like tactical manner, killing things. Um, hmm. I think Virtuoso is going to be better than that. I think this is going to move above our Jaguar entry, but I don't think it is going to overtake Virtuoso, which I believe is our second highest 3DO title. So we're going to put this at position number 19. No, position number 20 is what we're going to do. We're going to put it right below Virtuoso. There. Note that this is Fears, not Fear. It's a very different game. All right. So yes, number 20 is now Fears. Above Alien vs. Predator, not as good as Virtuoso. All right. Let us switch. Actually, let's hold here for just a second. I don't really have anything. No, I have to decide how we're gonna do this. You know what? Let me start getting ready for the next game as we talk about the games that we are not going to be able to look at. So, I'll load this. So, the remaining Amiga games on our list. Let's see, where's my... So that was Fears. Ubek is a title also released in 1995 I could not get working. So it is unfortunately going unranked. And as I said, Namek 4 is a title all the way from 96 or 97. It's hard to say which. That, again, could not get working despite my best efforts. So there are two Polish titles, which is what we're going to try to take a look at now. Both of which I could get running. I just couldn't figure them out because I don't speak Polish. So, yeah, we're going to start with, they're both by the same company. One's a sequel to the other. The first is Project Battlefield. And hold on, we need to add that and that and that. And pray that these controls are set up in such a way that this will actually work. And if we hit on, this can go down here for now. This can go here. If I hit this, no, we need to there. Okay. There we go. So this is Project Battlefield by TSA and Mirage. And oh yes, this one only works with a joystick. So we need to go to our input, make sure this is set to game ports panel, then go to the game ports panel and set the mouse to off. And no, set this to off, this to, no, sorry, this is none. This is the controller. Okay. And now we need to pick up my controller and hit the controller button. Okay. But actually, first we need to resize the window to make it slightly bigger. We need to make it a lot bigger. You'll see why in a moment. So you can see from the copyright, this released in either 94 or 5. Unclear. I don't know why both are on the copyright. Don't worry, it's loading. Okay. I wish I could tell you there's a way to change this screen size, and there might be, but the instructions are in Polish, so... And the only instructions online I could find were in Polish, so... I do not know. If there's a way to change the screen size, I cannot tell you what it is. It took me long enough just to figure out. And you see, there's just a whole bunch of random questions here that were in Polish that I don't know what we just answered, but... We got a data pad, I guess? I don't know. But yeah, again, we're not gonna rank this, it's not fair, because I just don't understand it, but... Are we not hitting him? Also, it just doesn't play very well. Like, there you go. That was Project Battlefield. That's really all I wanted to show there. Here you go. Here's some Polish story. If you happen to speak Polish, you will know what just happened there, probably. Otherwise... my apologies. If anyone has some sort of fan translated version of this and would like me to play it in English, I have no issue doing so, even in that tiny screen, but I'm not gonna, bother trying to both figure it out and figure it out in Polish. That's more than I am willing to do. Especially because it's not like I can just, great. That should work. All right, this is the sequel. This one is Project Intercalaris. All this scratchy audio makes me wonder if I should start emulating a sound card in this thing. All right. So again, there's a whole bunch of options here. I have no idea what any of it means. So we're just gonna hit this first one, which I know starts the game, just through trial and error. I have to say, I really wish I could figure this game out because it seems incredibly ambitious. So look, we've gone all the way from that tiny little window to an entire full screen. running at pretty high resolution and frame rate. Like, I think this is some of the more impressive looking visuals I've seen on the system. So up till now, right, you'd think this seems pretty basic, and I should be able to play this even if I don't understand Polish. But then we got to the point where this happened. I stood over this thing, and instead of just picking it up like most games, a menu came up with some Polish at the bottom and a picture of a hand, which I assume meant pick up. And so I hit it, and then it highlighted, and then I hit it again. And now I guess maybe it's in my inventory, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know what it is. And so I don't even know if I were to use it that I'd know that I used it correctly. And as I picked up more and more items and had less and less idea how any of them worked. Like, was that missile that just fired because I picked up that item? Like, the missiles seem to not be hitting me. So my thought was that maybe it's a missile coming out of my gun. And here's another random item. Who's shooting me now? Are they shooting me? No. Okay. So again, I picked up this item, but I don't know what it is or what it does. Same with this item. Like, that looks like a key. I'm guessing that's a key, but I don't know for certain. And, you know, all of those items had an eyeball icon, which I assume means, you know, give me a description of the item and what it does, but that's not going to help us because, you know, the descriptions will be in Polish. So, yeah. But, like, and here, this looks like a health pack. I assume 46 is my health, but, like, I have a health pack now, I guess. How do I use it, though? Right? Like, I have it, but I have no way of using it that I know of. I have mapped every button on the CD32 controller, which is what I'm claiming I'm using for this, to buttons on my Xbox controller, which is what I'm actually using. And, yeah, I really wish I could figure this out. This looks really cool. And so, like, this one here, I can open it, I think, and then I can instead take this item, I guess, and pick that up, this Carta, whatever that is. But again, like, I'm interesting. So I can switch that does seem to do that. I'm just trying to see if any buttons on the keyboard. No. Okay. Okay. That just picks it up and puts it down again. Right. What did I even hit to make that happen? Is this use? Yes. Ha, I figured out how to use something. And then what button was I hitting to do that? Spacebar. And then what did that do though? You see, like, this still is barely helping. Like, Okay, that means I'm using a rocket launcher now. I figured that out. Right? Like, I'm figuring out the very basics of this, but I just don't think we're going to be able to get anywhere or get a real sense of how this game plays. So unfortunately, you know, we're not going to rank this one, and that's about all I'm going to show of it, but it seems really neat. I wish it had English so that I could at least, you know, understand the basics of it, but I do not. So there you go. That's Project Intercalaris. So we've got our 2 Polish games there now played. We've got our 2 unworking games mentioned. That leaves us with one last Amiga game, and then we will play all the Amiga games I have planned for this show and series forever. We're not going to do any more. So let me load up our last option here. This is Alien Breed 3D 2. This was released in '96, so it will be the latest game for the Amiga that we will play. It is one of the last games period released for the Amiga. The last one, Team 17, made for it. Before they moved on to making Windows games and console games. And they're one of the few Amiga developers still going today. They even publish stuff these days. Make sure you guys are seeing this. You are. Great. All right. We're going to strongly hope this works. Let's look at our control options. Oh, look. I forgot. This game actually lets you customize the controls in the game. This is amazing, right? Have you ever seen this before? Not an Amiga game, certainly not. Yep. I like all of that. Except for it runs on by default, so we don't need to worry about that. Next weapon is enter. We should remember that. Let's play the game. I don't actually care. All right. So here we are. We need to hit this button, which will make it full screen. Okay, so I present you with what is almost inarguably the best looking Amiga game we have played and will ever play. I should note that this game is theoretically, again, running on a 6880K, which is a processor that, again, did not exist at the time this game came out. Or maybe it did. Just no one would have had this processor inside of their Amiga. This is a Amiga setup that likely existed in no more than a handful of computers in the world. Ever. So, the reason it took me a little bit to get started is this game comes on 5 discs, but you only need 3 of them because the game, depending on which boot disk you put in, will either load the version for 2 megabyte systems or 4 megabyte systems. And my system here is like an 128 megabyte system because, again, it's insane and is not a real system that anyone would have had in their Amiga at the time, because that would, the system I have here that I built in '96 would have cost you thousands of dollars. So, not, it's probably underrepresenting it. Would have cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, just to be clear, no one... I need to turn the map on. This game is an auto map that is an overlay that just goes over the whole thing. Like, look at this. This shouldn't be possible on an Amiga. There's no other Amiga game in the world that can do this. Yeah, notably, you know, this game was notorious for running at like 5 frames per second on most Amigas. So, again, we are experiencing what has to be the smoothest playthrough of this game ever. Or, you know, among the other people could have, you know, hit the emulation settings how I did to get this running this smoothly. But like I said, it is all but impossible on actual real Amiga hardware without spending, you know, again, tens upon tens of thousands of dollars. Like, this was not even enthusiast hardware. This was professional grade hardware that would have been used at like NASA or something at the time. Like, there's no way you would have had the systems that we are using here in your actual home in 96. So this is very much a one-of-a-kind experience. But for us, all these decades later, we are experiencing the height of what an Amiga was capable of. Again, this game came out after Commodore's bankruptcy, so Commodore wasn't even making Amigas at this point. This was all being done by a German company which had purchased the rights and was, you know, creating systems to allow people to upgrade their Amiga. And so again, this is extraordinarily small audience for something that only just barely functioned even on the absolute highest end hardware of the day. So yeah, it's a crazy thing this game was made. Anyways, so the 2 megabyte version runs at that super low resolution that all the other games we've been looking at ran at. And it also... Is this the right way? No, it's this way, right? It also... So one of the discs is just the special effects disc, and so you can choose to just not insert that, and then none of these special effects will show up. The special effects largely being like the lighting and the pixel work, the sprite effects, the alpha effects on the weapon firing. Could all be turned off. Like, all of the, you know, those effects could be removed if you so desire to improve performance. So you could basically make it look like all the other games we were playing if you really wanted. And on the original emulator I was using, which was using a 6840K, which was still a beast of a processor at the time, was still running this mode at like like maybe 15 frames per second. Like, it was not good. And that emulator, you could kind of get a 6860 working, and even that was not doing it. Like, I'm not sure it was 100% working correctly, but... Oh no, oh no. There are so many enemies. We need to run. We have 47 health left. We started with like 500, just to be clear, not at 100. So 47 health is not good in this game. It means you have lost the vast majority of your health. What is this thing? We have died. Which way did we go last time? It was the other way, right? So we're gonna go this way this time and hope for Okay, so what did we start with? 300 health? Was that? That's what it looks like here, right? Ooh. Hey, look, the run button actually does do something in this game. Should have put it to something I could actually hit more often. Well, when we die again, I can always change it again. Back down in this hole. Well. Jesus Christ. Alright. Oh. Said I should switch the run button to, something I can actually hit, like the control button. Even a jump button here. What do I have on spacebar? Let's see. Operate. That seems important, but we can maybe make that so that we could make spacebar jump, and then we could jump too. All right. I feel like if I really wanted to be successful at this, I would have had to have gone through the effort to set up customized controls using the mouse at the emulator level. And frankly, if I weren't so damn tired of setting up Amiga games, that's what I would just say, you know what, we'll come back to this once I've set this up in a way that, let's just get a fair shake at it, but I'm not going to do that. I can't play any more Amiga games. Oh my gosh, we've got a new weapon. It's a blaster. Who is shooting us? Oh look, help. That was nice while it lasted. So I believe my understanding of this is that this game was very much not finished, but was released anyway because the Amiga was dead and spending more money on it was pointless, and so they just released what they had essentially, which is why this thing feels so extraordinarily unbalanced. Oh, is that the end of the level? And so, like, I think there might even be cases where you can, like, soft lock your progression because you didn't pick up the right item before you left the level and stuff like that. And it's definitely major, major, major balance issues, as you are seeing. And I believe if I wanted to put in an absurd amount of effort into this, I believe there are some fan-made patches. That this gun. Oh, whoops! I switched that to E now. But it still isn't open. Well, that worked out well. Ah. Once again, it uses ammo incredibly rapidly. So we're back to the shotgun again. I did set this to E, right? None of these doors seem to work. Maybe I need to get the power back on or something like that. Is. Does passkey mean I can go through all the doors now? That would be great. What is this? Oh, I guess there's like an elevator up there. I would have to... Okay. But... doesn't work. That one works now. What is this? Another passkey. I think we might have killed everything on this level. Another passkey. We saw the blue door. Right? Where was that? It was before here, right? I'm never gonna find it again. Was it in here? Red door. Over here. No. Do I have the passkey for this? No. Nope. Ah, here it is. Blue door. Great. So yeah, this game's not good, unfortunately. Yeah. No real nicer way to say that, unfortunately. Again, I could spend a lot of time customizing the controls, and it would make it, you know, more playable, I think. But at the end of the day, its primary issue is not its controls, but the fact that it's just incredibly poorly balanced. Which again seems to come down to the fact that it wasn't finished. Start using these mines. Why not? It's the yellow key we need for that. It's also like they keep giving us guns, but no ammo for it. No ammo pickups for it. Like, the whole thing is just, clearly very, very frustrating. You know, especially considering how close they were to actually, you know, making something that would have, I think, held up quite well. Like, this is certainly the most technically advanced game we've seen, but, you know, at the end of the day, even if this played perfectly, it's still just another Doom clone. Like, it's a more advanced Doom clone than they had made previously, but that's... Where was the door I needed to use that key on? Was it this one? Nope. Well, shit. Alright, you know what? That's gonna be it for Alien Breed 3D2. Alright. So, compared to Fears, here at number 20 that we just played, not as good. Compared to the first Alien Breed, not as good. Compared to Escape from Monster Manor, not as good. Compared to Catacomb 3D, it's a close call, but not as good. Compared to Depth Dwellers, we played a couple weeks ago. Ooh, still not as good. Compared to Catacomb Apocalypse, I think it's better than Catacomb Apocalypse. Is it better than Battle Frenzy? No, I think it's just better than Catacomb Apocalypse. We're going to make it our new number 35. How about that? Alien Breed 3D2. Done. Update. All right. So our new number 36 is Alien Breed 3D2. And where are you? Alien Breed 3D2 36. You're not on the screen. That's why they can't see it. Okay. So yeah, Alien Breed 3D2, our new number 36, sitting above not much, but the absolute worst trash we played. Very unfortunate because really technically a marvel in a lot of ways. But just did not have enough time in the oven and was just not balanced well at all and just not an enjoyable experience. All right. That is it for Amiga games. That actually took less time than I was expecting. Not that I was expecting it to take very long because, you know, they all sucked. So we're gonna start with our next game, and we might even do a game after that. I'd have to decide what. We're moving over to Steam now for I Am Sakura, okay, someone's gonna kill me because I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, and I apologize. I'm not part of this Dojin, so my apologies. But this is I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong. A Touhou, Touhou fan game. Let me start it, and then I'll explain what the hell that means if you don't know anything about Dojin Society. Let me, hold on, switch the capture over to this. Okay. This is another GZ Doom wad. And hold on, this music's a little loud. Let me turn down. Well, let's turn the master volume down here, and then turn the music volume way down. I don't need it to be anywhere close to that loud. Okay. So, Dojin groups are, in Japan are basically like groups with like-minded hobby, let's call it. And so the idea is getting together with other people and making fan work based on that. This pauses time so that then I can, fire my shots, and in theory, hopefully this will hit most of them and they'll be dead by the time, yeah. Oh, everything is too loud. We need to turn the volume on this down too. Hold on. Turn this down here. And that's still really loud. Okay. Whoops. Let's turn the master volume all the way down to 50. Turn this all the way down to 40. Okay, that's more bearable. And so, basically, yeah, so Dojin circles make fan works inspired by various, works of art of various types. Games, manga, anime, movies, books, whatever. And so, this is a game created by a developer who is part of a Dojin circle for the game series. Again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I've never actually said it out loud before. Touhou, I believe. Touhou is how you pronounce the name, or how you spell the name of the series, but I do not know what the actual pronunciation is meant to be. But the games are bullet hell shooters. And traditional, I believe they are top-down, forward-scrolling games, not side-scrolling. And so... And they began on the, I believe on the NEC, one of NEC's home computers before they stopped making those. So in the 90s, and have continued on pretty much ever since. They're now on Windows. You can get the more recent one, I think, on Steam. Certainly in Japan. I think the very recent ones are available on Steam in the US as well. And so yeah, the series, it's considered a good bullet hell shooter, but I think the most noteworthy thing about it for most people is it's made by just a single individual who himself is part of the Dojin scene. And so he very generously said that, basically anyone could make a game set in the universe and he would allow it, as long as it wasn't, a major, he didn't want, a major commercial group making anything, but he said, any indie developer who, wants to make a game set in this universe, that's cool. I'm all right with that. You can do that. I support this community and so on and so forth. And so, so at Dojin circles, where, you'll basically get cons, essentially, where a whole bunch of different Dojin groups will come together and, make various things, based on whatever, their fandom happens to be. And so the community around, around this game exploded because they could pretty much make whatever they wanted, and even if it was not officially released, it was, or officially licensed per se, he was fine. He didn't care. He'd still let you release it and sell it. And so this is one such game that came from that arrangement. So this is not an official game. The character I'm playing as is a character in the main series. I believe she's a side character. I don't think she's you can usually play as 3-4 characters at least in each of the games. But she's not the main character of the series. Let's put it that way. But she is a character who's appeared in the series quite a bit. And so, yeah, here you're playing as her fighting all these other people who are also, I believe, involved in the series in some way. I don't know who all the rest of these enemies are, but yeah, so that's the origins of this. And so you'd think that, I mean, again, I got this on Steam. If you want, until I believe tomorrow, it is on sale, I believe, for $4. Steam is holding a first-person shooter fest this week. Damn it. So any shooter, pretty much every shooter on Steam is discounted to some degree. This one is quite heavily discounted. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can... You can go on Steam and purchase it. The developer's follow-up game, which is not a fan game set in his own universe, is also $4 in that sale. And I have that as well. So, like I said, if we have time, we'll maybe take a short break and then look at that as well. Because I don't actually have it installed yet, and ooh. Exciting. So, a key thing, so, you know, you might wonder why I chose to even do a fan game, but I thought it was really interesting to see this game that is basically designed as a bullet hell game, but from a first-person perspective. And so it's very different than in really any other shooter we've played. As you've seen, there's not a lot of health pickups, and you're taking a significant amount of damage each time you get hit. You basically, I think, can take 4 hits. There might be enemies that, you know, do basically multiple hits worth of damage per hit, but as far as I can tell, you do about... You take about, you know, a quarter of your health per hit. And there's no random element to that. Like, you always take the same amount of damage. The enemies always take the same amount of damage. It doesn't matter how far you are, like, distance isn't taken into account at all there. So... Man, did I hear you yet? So just that concept of using, you know, bullet hell style rules and structure in a shooter, I thought was really interesting. So I was curious to try this game out because of that. So that's why we are looking at it. And I think it's really enjoyable, actually. It's hard, of course. And it, you know, you have to be very careful with where you're standing, right? Because, you know, it's a bullet hell game. So, as you would expect, your position on the screen, or in this case in the 3D world, is very important. Okay, boss fight time. This is Mei Ling. She's another character from the series. Beyond that, I can't tell you anything about her, but I believe she's a fairly major character. You can see that destroyed her. We got her. Okay. And this is, I think, the coolest weapon in the game. So these bounce endlessly. And so you can just basically throw them out and they'll just keep destroying people over time. And it becomes really essential to make good use of these in this game. Because, as I said, you can get destroyed very, very easily And so you need, so to be in the right position to not be destroyed. I believe it is this the first door you go in? No, that's the blue mansion key. That's the red mansion key. That's the yellow. Okay, this is the one we need to go in. So, like, there's this guy, right? And you're seeing he's firing endless bullets that I'm almost certainly going to get hit by if I were to get this key. But I can do that. And now he's dead. And so, yeah, that... what color key was that? Was that... No, it was blue, right? Nope. It was red. Nope. It was clearly yellow. I think the main issue with this game, honestly, is that they did use GZ Doom, and it just doesn't always seem quite up to the task of dealing with these very accurate, the necessary accuracy you need to do a game with combat like this. And so I think that's a little disappointing. You know, like... that. Yeah. See, they're all dead. And, you know, I'm one hit away from death. As you can see that in bottom left corner, that's 1 health that I have. So any one hit will kill me. Which, again, not uncommon for a, bullet hell shooter. Oh, whoa. But not very common, you know, for a boomer shooter. And so it's a really interesting mix of genres, I think. And one that I really ended up enjoying a lot. And so I wanted to show it off. And I wanted to show it off now because, like I said, it's on a big sale so other people can get it if they like it. And support this developer who I think does really cool stuff. Yeah, there's another example of I could, you know, go into each of these areas and attempt to take out all these guys, or I could throw a whole bunch of knives. And hopefully most of the enemies will get taken out. And then I can just walk through here and play cleanup, essentially. Ooh, she did not. Damn it. Got her. Yeah, I love these knives. I love this idea that I'm just throwing a whole bunch of knives, and eventually they're just getting their way almost everywhere and killing almost everyone. I think it's a neat idea. I could see how some people might not love it. And, you know. Shit. Knew that was going to happen eventually. Okay. So there are mid-level saves. I don't have to be, no, there's quick saving. It's GZ Doom. I can do anything I can do in a GZ Doom game. so I don't have to be starting the level over every time, and I might start putting in some saves here to make this a little more viable for the stream, but I like playing this game as if it was a bullet hell shooter and I had to start the level over when I died. What am I? Who am I? Damn. You know, I guess that only makes sense if I actually, you know, manage to, kill most of these enemies. Otherwise, kind of a moot point. Is that it? Okay. I think I killed them all. We have full health still, so this would be the good time, right? To save. Guess we can use the doll in here. How? The knives made it in here already, clearly. Uh-oh. Well, 2 of our 4 hits. This guy's very fast, as you can tell. All right. See if there's any more still alive. Yep. Three of our 4 hits. Shit. All right, it's time to fight our next boss. Somehow that barely hurt her. As you can see, her bullets track. Just gonna start throwing some knives around and see, hope we get lucky and hit her a bit with that. She has a lot of health, as you can tell. Yeah, we're hitting her. We're hitting her here and there. Keep throwing these knives at her. I think the knives are also going to destroy her fireballs if they hit them, so... yeah, I'm just going to have so many knives going. Okay. Now we can freeze time. And blast her with so many shotguns. Did it. Gosh. That did not go well. We're not going to save that one. Shit. This is bad. We've been healed. Okay, time safe. Which way? Oh my. There are a lot of enemies in here. This seems like a job for knives. They all dead? Nearly. Got her. I'm still not really clear why. I mean, I guess the pistol fires a lot faster, and so it's better in situations, I guess, where, like this, I'm fighting against weaker enemies. I want to rapidly hit a lot of them. But, you know, the shotgun just fires the same bullets as the pistol, just a lot more of them at a time. as you can see there. So like for something fast like that, I generally, or you know, someone strong like her, that will take her out in one shot. Okay. Sure, we kill everything in these rooms before we walk into them because we're down to our last hit again. So far, so good. Everyone dead in here? Okay, great. Saw another one. I'm gonna throw some more knives. I don't know how long this game is. We might, you know, end up playing this whole game. It could be very short for all I know. I really don't. Hell, this could be the final. This could be it. This could be the end of the game right here. Ah. Whoa. You got out of nowhere. Keep constantly moving. Man. Okay, let's try shotgun maybe. Oh no. You know. I let the curiosity get the better of me. I was like, well, what happens if I go down here? Maybe there's a secret behind the waterfall. There was the secret behind the waterfall in the first level. It's the only secret in the whole game, as far as I can tell. I mean, there's nothing to collect. You know, they're giving me a rating of like 100% items collected every level, but there's no collectibles in this game. Fuck. Okay, we're gonna try a new strategy. Let's see how this works. Gotta get our knives moving here before anyone starts appearing. Keep firing knives. Keep firing knives. Keep firing. It's working. The knife strategy is doing it. We're just firing. We've run out of knives. We have a problem. Oh, man. Ah. Stopping time there really didn't seem to help much. I don't think it did anything at all, honestly. Because of the... Occurs to me it's because the platform was still raising that whole time. Where's my knives? We gotta start... Ah. That didn't work. Ugh. Guys, I don't know that I can do this. We're gonna go with shotgun. It had its advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, it's slow firing, but it does take them out very rapidly when they do hit. God damn it. Spawned right on top of me. All right, last try. Bullshit. All right. Hold on. Is there a way to change the difficulty, maybe? Player setup. Nope. Miscellaneous options. Full options menu. Okay. I've put on infinite ammo. See if this works. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, we did our best. All right, that's I Am Sakura, a Touhou shooter. We can now add to our rankings. All right, right now, I would say let's start about halfway up, at least around, well, let's look at these. Is it better than an Amiga game? Yes. I would say if Fears is our best Amiga game, then this is superior to that. We didn't beat that, so I don't know if that's the end or not, so we're not going to take the length into account because I don't know if it's very short or not. I think it's better than Graven, which is another newer game that is not even a GZ Doom wad. And I think it's better than Shrine. I think it's better than Wolfenstein or Rise of the Triad. So Shrine 2 and Doom 2 are our next two games. Is it better than Shrine 2 or Doom 2? I think, I mean, again, we're not going to take the potential length of this into account because we don't know. So, assuming that this game is of normal length, I feel like I have to put it above those. Hands of Necromancy, with its more open-worldy Metroidvania structure, is a far more interesting thing. That I think probably, I don't think this game cracks the top 5. I think this is our new number 6. I think it is going to go right above Doom 2. I Am Sakura. Okay, there we go. Our new number 6, I Am Sakura. Also added today were Fears and Alien Breed 3D2 way down here at, what was it, 37 now. So 45 games in total on the list. Some real bad ones down here at the bottom. Some very solid classics here at the top. And we will be continuing this, of course, next week. We are done with Amiga games now. So hopefully a lot of the delays that have been occurring because of the Amiga games will no longer occur. Every game we are playing going forward is either going to be a DOS game, a Windows game, or a console game, primarily a PlayStation game. There are a couple Saturn games as well to look at. And of course, there are the fairly famous N64 games to see as well. So, we'll be taking a look at all of those in the future, but we've finished Amiga. We've got a handful of newer titles on the list, and we've got plenty more coming with the upcoming episodes. So make sure to stick around for those. If you are watching this on YouTube, then be sure to subscribe to get notified when the latest episodes go up. If you are watching on Twitch, you can follow me on YouTube to see previously released episodes. And if you are on YouTube, then you can follow me on Twitch to see the latest episodes. Either way, thank you everyone for watching and supporting me, and we will see you all next time. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week.